Hello, everybody! Happy Friday! Welcome to the Aquarium Adventures weekly live stream Fishy Fizzness. Hope you're doing well. Hope you can both hear me and see me, and hope that if I'm quiet, there's no annoying buzz. I'm going to go with no annoying buzz. Hopefully that's okay, and you can see me. Who have we got in so far? We've got Stuart in from a grey Wolverhampton. Well, it's kind of clinging on to the sunshine Sheffield, so it's not too bad here. Brian's in. Nice to see Brian. Hans, hi from Sweden. Hi from Sheffield. Lisa's just in time for the AMSR. Yes, I did. Oh, I don't know if the mic picked it up though, because I've been fiddling with the microphone, so I don't know if that worked. Because Brian didn't hear it, but I think Brian's already drunk, so maybe that's why. Mandy's in. Howdy, homies. Howdy, doody. Howdy, doody. Hello. No buzz. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yes, I figured it out. I have spent all day today fiddling with this bloody microphone to the point where I was nearly throwing it out. I changed the cables. I changed the USB cables from the mixer. I changed the ports on the mixer, swapped them round onto a different port, attached everything to a different PC to see if that made a difference. Note. Until I realised when I looked really closely, hard to show you this, but the camera I'm looking at here, got a camera, got a light above it, and behind that's the mixer for the sound. And do you remember a couple of weeks ago when the light kept going out? And I was like, oh, what's going on with this? And I was kind of fiddling with the light. One of the knobs on the mixer is compression, which I had turned all the way up. So it was basically when there was nothing going on, it was going, oh, I'll make that a bit louder. I'll make it a bit louder. I'll make it a bit louder. I'll make it a bit louder. So the annoying hum that you can, or you shouldn't be able to hear at the moment, was just getting amplified over and over and over and over. So I fixed that about 10 minutes ago. Well done, me. I deserve a drinky poo out of my favourite glass. Available at all good Etsy's and Aquarium Adventures websites. Ding. Even add my own sound effects now. Ding. So we should be all good. For your viewing pleasure tonight, we have the quizzes timed 2 with a new twist suggested by everyone last week and voted for, so you can't blame me for selling out. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We've got some discussion on my new project, which has consumed more of my time than I care to admit, but it kind of has. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. That was my latest video, which nobody has watched because it's the 10 out of 10 performing video on my channel. I always love it when things I get really into and I make a video about it and nobody watches it. Yay! And some other irreverent chat as we do. Brian says, if I hadn't commented on the buzz in the video, would you have known the buzz was on? I would have done, because I made that video today. I don't know if you can tell it was rushed. I'm wearing the same t-shirt. And whenever I make a video, I always watch it back once just to make sure I haven't done something stupid. Like, I remember once when I made a video, I cut out every now and again, constantly when I make videos, I'll do a piece to camera like this and I'll be saying, and so I think aquarium fish stores are very blah, 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 blah. Oh, for fuck's sake, blah, 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 blah. I'll make a stupid mess and I'll go in and editing and cut that out. But once I cut out the video and left me going, and I very nearly posted it. So I always make a point to watch the video before I put it out, make sure I haven't done anything stupid like that. And when I watched it back, I noticed the buzz, because I always crank the sound up just to make sure there's nothing like going on in the background or whatever it is. And I could hear the buzz, but because that was in the video and not live, I could then go in and do noise reduction and stuff to get it down as much as possible. So I know it was noticeable, but I hope it wasn't as noticeable as it was on the live stream last week, for instance. But that's what made me think, right, we need to fix that for tonight. Because I had assumed I only use the mic once a week. I do the live stream and that's it. I very rarely record videos using this mic because I usually use my other mic. So it was lucky that I did do that today, so as I had a chance to sort it out before we started tonight. But yeah, we got there. I had assumed that it was just a dodgy connection somewhere and all I had to do was reboot my PC. So when I'd rebooted the PC, I just assumed it was fixed and didn't test it until we got there. I missed it too, and I don't want to reunite. Don't worry, as you have requested, I will open a second one later on. We'll be fine. Great Ocean Disaster Aquariums. Enjoyed the last video. Good take on local shop versus online. Good. I'm glad. I think that is a discussion point worth having. I don't think, or what I was trying to convey is, I don't think we should be demonizing one over the other, and they do work well together, and they could work well together, and life is about change. I'm getting all philosophical now. Life is about change. If you don't change and adapt and keep up, then yeah, you are going to fall by the wayside. And I think local fish shops particularly are at a higher risk because of higher operating costs and things like that. But I don't think they should be operating against the internet. I think that should be part of the strategy, and then they can do good things, because hopefully I gave some good examples of reasons why the two work well together. We'll see. Who knows? I'd best clean my glasses if I want to read any more comments, because I can't actually see anything because they're so dirty. There we go. That's better. Prodigal Aquarius, thank you very much for your comments. That was nice to see some testing going on. I overestimated my pulling power. So one of the comments I got today was from Aquarium Delirium. Mal had commented in one of the videos very recently saying, oh yeah, you should go and do meet and greets at all the places that you review. You very much overestimate my pulling power as a celebrity. That would be the most god-awful, embarrassing situation to ever occur. Not because it would be like awkward, or well, it would be, but one person might come because they heard I was coming, which would be very embarrassing for me, if not everyone else involved. I posted on the Discord earlier in the week saying, right, I've made this thing. Can anyone help me out and do a bit of testing? In fact, I've got a button for that. One person helped. So thank you, that one person. So thank you to everyone who's had a go now. We'll do a few more introductions and then we'll get into talking about it a little bit. Jonathan, evening. Just finished building this new tank, fiberglass this weekend. What thickness glass did you use in your 2 mega tanks? I'm planning 12mm, which I think should be okay, but open to suggestions. Jonathan, are you the person who's been posting, are you Wet Melon or whatever it was? The thickness of your glass is very much determined by the other dimensions of your tank. So 12mm, that's pretty thick. That should handle most things. I think Mega Tank 2 is 12mm and Mega Tank 1 is 15, because it's a bit deeper. And they're obviously both fine. They're both holding. To my calculations, they are over-engineered and over-safe. Everyone on the internet, I'm a madman. Oh, a disaster will ensue immediately. So convince yourself that it'll be fine by doing the calculation. I can't remember. There's a really good website for, say, and it might be called something like howthickshouldmyglassbe.com, where you can go on and put in the dimensions of your tank, and it'll tell you where your weak points would be and what to do. Wait, what did I miss? How far did I fall? What do you mean? I don't know. I've added the video to my watch later, but I just got up like 90 minutes ago. That's fine. You're not... I don't mean to moan, so I shouldn't moan. There is no requirement that everyone must go and watch all my videos. That's not one of the requirements for attendance. You're just required to turn up, pitch in, and have fun. That's all. It's just it's funny to me that anything that I put effort into, so Megatank 2, months of work, thousands of pounds, put the video out about it, everyone's like, whatever. I buy a £10 filter off Temu, 60,000 people are interested in this video. You're like, okay, I don't think I ever will understand this algorithm nonsense. So it's just one of those things that constantly surprises me. I think I'll have to actually do it deliberately, not put effort into something I care about to see if I can get more views that way. Apparently I've got 2 LFSEs really close, but it's like hunting Pokemon. I can only find one. Well, I did say there will be errors. I am the quality control. That's never a good situation to have. So, if you don't know, let's do a quick rundown of what we're trying to do, because there are some clearly unclear, I don't know. There are some unclear instructions that I've left with people. So I've had some comments like, well, let's start at the start. We'll talk about what it is. Okay. I've made a thing. This is the thing. Oh, where's my head gone? There's my head. Oh, here I'm here. In fact, let's move me out the way. I think that might be suitably out the way. This isn't the thing. This is just my website. This is my website. So you go to tools and info, LFS search, and I've made a local fish store finder. So a load of search engine optimized blurb about why I've done it. You won't see this because I'm logged in as admin, so that won't be there. But yeah, there's a map of the UK where I have listed every single fish store. So go and watch the video if you want the full proper description of this. I've scraped Google for everything that Google thinks is a fish shop. I've got rid of everything that I can think of. I've written the scripts to remove the spurious answers, and I think I'm now at the stage where I've mostly cleared it out, but there's 2 and a bit thousand shops listed. There will be ones that have closed down. So a few people have been really good. I've had lots of emails already today saying, I liked it, I've checked it out. These 3 shops are listed in my area, but that one closed down in February. Brilliant. That's exactly what I'm after. I've had a bunch of other comments that said, oh God, I best look it up so I don't annoy someone. I can't be bothered. It basically said something along the lines of, oh, there's 3 shops in my area not listed. I'm like, oh, give us a clue. What's your area? What are the names of the shops? I've had a few people who have said, oh, this is my favourite shop. It doesn't seem to be listed. And then when I check, it is listed, but it's like hidden by another thing. So as you can see, the map is quite dense. So like, for instance, if you hover over that one, you get, oh, right, fine, there you go, Linlithgow Pet Shop. But if you hover over that one, you don't get anything because that one won't go away. So I don't know if I can fix that. But if you come in from the other side, you should get that one. No, see, this one's like covering up that one. Till you drill all the way down and get them separate. Then I can see, right, that's Pets at Home. So there's these little things that aren't working perfectly. A few people have commented about the search bar down here. So I've put in 2 search bars, which to me made sense. If you know the name of it and you just want to search for it, or you know some of it, I think it's called Riverbank or Riverside something. You can type in river and it'll show you all the ones with river in the name. Or I know it's in Manchester. You can type in Manchester. It'll take you to Manchester on the map and show you what's going on. So you can have a little bit of a play around. But people are saying, well, I typed in Pets at Home on the one on the right and it didn't take me anywhere. And I'm like, yeah, that's the wrong box. That's fine. But I have to account for that. And one thing, I don't know if I made this clear enough. I am not a web developer. I'm very much enthusiastic amateur. I don't know how to do this. There are some things I just won't be able to fix. I'll never be able to get them right. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying, and I'm not looking to make any money out of this, so there's only so much time and effort I'm willing to throw at it. But I thought it was a good idea because when you search for this online, The only other directory I could find of UK fish shops was on Aquarius Classified, and they list about 60. I'm listing 2,500. Now, obviously, I'm listing too many, so I think the real number might be about 2,000. But I thought, if I'm going to make a video about... This all stemmed from the idea of making a video about local fish shops and how they are important and whether or not they could work together and all the things the video covers. Go and watch the video. You don't have to listen to me repeat it again. But I'm as guilty as anyone else because I use online stuff all the time, and I don't think you should be demonized for using online, but I wanted to do something to try and support the good shops. So this is a way to publicize them, make them a little bit easier to find. One of the things I was looking at in here is a lot of the Google reviews are 1 star, went in there to buy a fish tank and a fish and they wouldn't sell it to me. That's actually a good thing, not a bad thing. So I'm hoping that because I'm marketing it to other aquarists like me and you, our reviews will be worth more, and we'll be able to see that. But anyway, that's what it is. It's just a list of shops. I've scraped Google to go through and find things that I think are useful. So, for instance, I'll pick on this one, Premier Aquatics. This page is just purely listed on the last thing I edited, so that's why these ones are at the top, because I've got pictures for these ones. So you can see some pictures of the shop, any things that I've gone through their Facebook page or whatever and stolen some pictures off that. The profile that they've used, photos, location on the map, address, their website, their phone number, their business hours, their Google reviews, their email, if they have any listings for, so this one, for instance, should have a Facebook page, but they haven't listed it on their website, so I couldn't scrape it, so I can go in and manually add that. But if they've listed their Facebook, their Instagram, their YouTube, whatever, that would show up there as well. Then this is my bit. This is where I'm, in theory, adding value, that you can type in your review of this place here, and that will show up. And I kind of have an idea of trying to order it by reviews, but I think that might be a bit unfair until we've got lots of reviews, so I'll probably just leave it as is. And that's it, in essence. You just go and you find what you need to find in terms of things. The list is just a big list of fish shops. It's all the places. The only thing I couldn't scrape in automatically was these pictures, so I've had to add these myself, which is why I've only got through a few of them. But yeah, that's what it is. Hope that makes sense. Right, I'll try and catch up with some of the chat before we start talking quizzes, because there's some new stuff with the quizzes going on as well. Lee, good evening everyone from a sunny Bolton, nice to see you. The buzz on the video was awful. Go and make your own video then, Brian. Yeah. It's the same shop, only there is an old unit. Yeah, there is some quality control needed, because it's just me coming up with this. And if Google's wrong, then I'm wrong, until I get around to actually fixing it. Graham Holbrook, nice to see you. Evening Phil, nice to see you. Do a mug signing at each shop. Yeah, well, I suppose they only need to bring one mug. I just don't think I have the pull that everyone thinks I've got. I'm very popular in India, it seems, looking at some of my demographics. So, hello India. Maybe I could open a shop there. All I can say is Brian is becoming just as interactive as Humphrey. Brian is very interested in anything I might do with my hands. Yes. Question, is Brian actually bigger than Humphrey now? Brian is way bigger than Humphrey, and has been for some time. Yeah, Humphrey was never that big. I'm thinking about moving Brian back into Mega Tank 1 on the premise that now there are some proper big fish in there. He might not be quite as uppity. We'll see. I missed 1 week and you changed the quiz. Okay, well, let's talk about this. Well, we had a vote last week based on me wanting to. So Stevie P turned up and started dishing out memberships like they were. Don't know how to finish that sentence. I almost said dishing out memberships like they were made of chocolate, but that makes no sense. Anyway, started dishing out gifted memberships. And I've always wanted to do more for the members, so I've been trying to think of other ways to incentivize memberships to give some value back, because I struggle to do much more in terms of video content. There are only so many hours in the day. I've got a proper job that actually pays the bills that I need to concentrate on, so I'll try and take more photos. I can't even keep an Instagram profile running properly because I can't find time to take pictures. So one of the ideas was, let's give people extra points in the quiz if they're members. So we're now operating a 2-tier society in Aquarium Adventures Land. Those of you who are members will get an extra 75 points added at your request at any time throughout the quiz, which I've equated as roughly a question's worth of points. That's you answering a question fairly quickly will get you 75 points. So this gives you the added bonus of maybe being able to take a little bit more of a risk when we get to the gambling questions. Maybe it gives you something. You feel like you're getting a value out of the actual membership, and it gives Brian a smaller chance of winning because he's not a member. So it kind of works on all fronts. If you go as a hero member, you get everything in the membership tier, but you also get an extra life in the Eliminator. So that should, again, hopefully give some kind of value. Oh, PE Tan. Oh, I'm also popular wherever that person's from. So that's we'll try it for a while, see if it works out. If people think it's too unfair, then maybe not. Or maybe you can join as a member. So we'll see if that works out. That's the plan. It does mean we have to run the Eliminator slightly different in that once you get a question wrong, you're out, but you're allowed to continue to play. So there'll be a little bit of honor system and me checking your honor system to see whether or not that's how it's going to work. But, we'll try something new, a little bit new. Copy link address. I'll put the link to the quiz in now because we'll probably be starting that in about 10 minutes. So there is the link to this week's main quiz, and I'll crack on with some of the comments. I'm probably missing loads that are going, no, you big cheat, don't do this, don't like it. Graham says, I like my LFSCs. Unfortunately, they're either crazy expensive or badly stocked, so have to travel a bit further away. Yeah, and I did want to be clear, that video was about the good LFS. I'm well aware not all are good. I have some terrible ones near me as well, so I wanted to highlight the good rather than put down the bad. So there might be another video in talking about the bad ones, but this is about, I don't know, I kind of see myself in these people that they've been hobbyists, they've got into it and they've decided they want to open a shop. What's the saying there? But for the grace of God, go I. That's a big jump, a big leap to go into business for yourself in any way. And I've known people who've worked in the industry. I know how hard it is. And if you're an owner, operator, you do have to be salesman, stockman, accountant, social media manager. You wear all those hats, and I just know it can get people down and it's a hard thing to do. But I also know that the good ones, and again, I'm just talking about the good ones, offer a lot of value back into the hobby. And if we, as the hobbyists, are interested in maintaining and growing the hobby, they are the people we should be helping out and protecting. The crappy ones, not so much. So if your LFS is gouging you on pricing for things, if they are just the heart's not in it, then yeah, they probably do deserve to run down and just fall away. But the ones that are actually trying and doing a good job, we need to find a better way to support them. So this is one way that I thought might be good. It might be nonsense. It might never work. I might give up. It might frustrate me so much that it's not worth pursuing. It might take off and we might expand it to other countries. Who knows how we do it? But I thought it's a start, and maybe I could start to use my reach as a slightly larger YouTube channel to get off my arse and go around and visit some of them and give them a bit of a showcase. So there we go. That's all I was thinking with it. It's a good thing you have made. I thought that was the start of a sentence that was missing something. It's a good thing you have made the rules up as you go along. It's a good thing. No, it's a good thing you've made. Thank you. I hope so. And it is. It's very. I'm just trying to get it functional. There'll be things to do. To make it look pretty. That might even be beyond me. So I might need to. If it does get successful, I might need to farm it out for some help. Who knows? Would you be interested in tasting some Canadian beer or cocktails online? Did check, and there's no issue mailing it as long as it's less than 65 Canadian dollars. Yeah, I'm always interested in checking out various beers. That's kind of fine. I gave up on the algorithm. My best performing video is the worst retention, and that goes against the rule. Yep, it's a bit of a shoulder shrug sometimes, isn't it? Yeah. How many of those fish shops or fish and chip shops you would be surprised. The fish and chip shops outnumber tropical fish shops by about 12 to 1. So I think I mentioned that in the video that I started out, my first scrape was something like 18,000 shops. That doesn't sound right. There can't be that many. And it wasn't until you dig into the way the way Google categorizes these. So it does have a category called Aquarium Shop, selling tropical fish. But you can get into that category if you meet the criteria of being pet related, mentioning the word fish. In fact, I think that's about it. That seems to get you into the category. So there was all kinds of like dog groomers and stuff who offered dried fish treats while your dog gets groomed. That shows up as a fish shop. All kinds of things. So I had to try and figure out what all these niches were. Loads of like bespoke animal tailors, for want of a better term. It's people who make doggy coats or cat jumpers or ferret waistcoats. And it'd all be like the Barker Boutique, the Meow Couture fashion. You'd be like, what? Why is that showing? And it's because the patterns on some of their cat clothes were herringbone, or they would use fishbone. I think you can have a fishbone stitching or something like that. It would mention that, and they'd be like, "All right, pets, fish. You're a fish shop." So I had to figure out what all the false positives were to be able to script them out, so as I could get rid of them. And then there's obviously loads of them that were aquatic centres, so you could go and like do jet skiing and water skiing and stuff rather than. So it was quite the task. I kind of get like that. My brain kind of works like this, where I have an idea and I try something and then I go, whatever. But when I try something, I go, that's not right. 15 hours later, I'm like, oh, I'm still doing this. Oh, okay. So there you go. There you go. There you go. Chris says, evening all. Evening, Chris. Nice to see you. To be fair, some tackle shops sell fish bait. So, yeah, there will be mistakes in there. So that's what I'm at the point where I can no longer refine the list anymore. So I'm relying on people doing error checking for me and helping out. Mr. G says, Easy Lothian Aquatics. East Lothian Aquatics. Riverside Aquatics. Riverside Aquatics. Someone was, in fact, was it you, Mr. G? Someone emailed me about Riverside Aquatics to say it wasn't there. It is. So I don't know. Apple Creek HG Ryan Upchurch fans says, hello. Hello, Apple Creek HG Ryan Upchurch fans. That's a mouthful. Not a bad plan, but I suggest Juggler be banned from membership. Yeah, maybe. There is the link to the quiz. So if you want to play, there's only 11 people registered to play the quiz tonight. Come on, people, get in, get in. Katie says, I'm sorry I'm late, so non-members will not be able to play the quiz. No, non-members will be able to play the quiz. You will never be barred from anything. I will never have members-only stuff. This is a members incentive. So members will get a few extra points. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Little face. That is the current standings for the month. So as you can see, Laurie Carey Day is in the lead, and I haven't seen her name, so you might have a chance to catch up with her tonight. But if you look at the members, the ones in gold are the top tier members, so they both get 75 points extra to use at any point. So it's not a given that it's going to be a huge boost to the members. If, for instance, let's say Nancy B in Tennessee gets to question 2 and hasn't scored any points, says, I'll have my points now. They take 75 points, but then in question 10 they get the question wrong and lose them all by gambling. Or they wait too long and it doesn't count as much when they do it after question 15 or whatever it is. So there's still some tactics to be played within there. It's basically they get a 1 question extra start. That's what we're going with. Everybody, so any member, what is my membership price? Can anyone remember? Is it 99p for the cheap one? £1.99? Something like that. You get that. So everybody in both categories, both tiers, gets the extra points. And then the people in gold also get an extra life in the Eliminator that we'll do later. So these are the current members. If any more members pop up in the next couple of minutes, I will, of course, add your name so you get your points. I'm not trying to cajole you into joining as a member, but, if you fancy it. Bubbling Fins, hello, nice to see you again. It's been a while. Stevie P's here. Man, we're about to leave for vacation, so this will be quizzing and driving. That is not recommended. Don't do that, and just enjoy your vacation. Anywhere nice? You going somewhere good? Or is one of you driving and the other one can quiz? Maybe that's better. Let's do that, yes. Please don't die. Wanderings with Miss E. Hi everyone, a bit late joining, but I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you made it. Oh, that's good. Fluve will give you a platinum, gold, silver, depending on the amount of SKU codes, which means they can't compete with Pets of Home or silver. That's hard for me to say. They're selling them cheaper than the regular. Yes, that is the nature of big business. If you can buy more, you get things cheaper, which is why Pets at Homes and your local independent retailer are two very different beasts doing similar things. They're not doing the same thing. They're doing similar things. The smaller mom and pop or whatever we're calling them shop won't be able to compete as well on dry goods because they don't have that bulk, but they will be able to compete on advice, on service, on lots of other areas. Advertising, for instance, they can start a YouTube channel and run it themselves and target things the way they want in their local area. Pets at Home can't really do that. They can be open on a Sunday if they want to be. So if your heater breaks, you can go and get it on a Sunday when Pets at Home is shut or whatever. There's swings and roundabouts with all of them. We've been loading the car and dealing with hotel BS. Oh, always fun dealing with hotels. Branton's in, nice to see you. Did everyone, nobody want to play the quiz this week? Is this a protest to me not? Is this a protest to the members thing? Last chance to get in the quiz. We'll be starting in 1 minute. Well, we would have been if I didn't just close the quiz by accident. Hang on. Go. Right. Trying to catch up. Steve Crocker says, where can I find the link to join, please? Down there somewhere. In fact, I could probably be a good host and share that link. Where would I find that link? This is where I wish all my moderators hadn't been deleted, and I could have just said, one of the mods, please post that link. View my channel. I don't know. Down there somewhere. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Mandy. If you join during the quiz, I'll still give you your points. Are we about ready? The question should be, how random is the quiz this week? Well, let's find out. It's going to be pretty random, I'll tell you that much. I didn't start making the quiz until about 6 o'clock, so you know how that goes. But, as I said, we have... Laurie Carey Day hasn't shown up. I have not seen Juggler yet, even though he's not in the top 10 this week. There's a couple of curveballs that I've thrown in this week where they're not all multiple choice. You're going to have to type for a couple of them, which will be difficult if you're driving. But let's get on with it, shall we? Good luck, everyone. Let's start the countdown. Some easy questions, some difficult questions, some very random questions, and everything in between. As always. Pussycats, quick, get in the quiz. You've got some free points as well. Remember, if you are a member, if you are one of these people, you get 75 points whenever you want. Question 1. What method of transportation was the vehicle known as a penny farthing? Was it a tractor, a train, a motorcycle, or a bicycle? At any point, if you are one of these people, just say, I want my points, and I'll add your extra 75 points. So if you see your name, I need to find a way to keep that on screen without taking things over. Hopefully you know that you remember. Yeah. Bobus points, please. It's sort of like that, except you're not a member and you're not getting any points. So, what did we think? 2 people thought it was a train, was the penny farthing. No. Who was a bicycle? Stephen P. 90 points straight away. No Chance had every chance with 87 points, and Crash in 3rd place with 85. Question number 2. Which of the following European countries is not a monarchy? Is it Portugal, Belgium, Spain, or Denmark? Which one of these doesn't have a monarchy? Is there a king of Belgium? Is there a queen of Denmark? Is there a prince of Portugal? There is no Prince of Portugal. That is the correct answer. Well done, 13 people. JDT gets top spot now. Rambo, Scat, Gourami Gourmet, Katie, Brian, Jack Tank, and someone else I couldn't get a chance to read yet to get off the mark. Question number 3. What animal's offspring is known as a leveret? What animal's offspring is known as a leveret? Is it a hare, a badger, a fox, or a possum? Adam C says, I'll have some points, please. Yeah, we'll do that. I have to do it at the question break. What animal's offspring is known as a leveret? 15 have gone for hare, 3 badgers, and 5 possums. It is a hare. So now I need to do maths. Oh, remind me, I'm going to get all confused. Which one are you, Adam? You don't call yourself Adam. You call yourself. Where are you? Remind me of your name, Adam. Can't see you, and I'm having a brain fart. Ah, you Grammy Gourmet. Okay. I can't believe I just used a calculator to do 78 plus 75. There you go, Adam. You've got a few extra points. Question number 4. Which famous actor is this? Have a look at the image and say what you see. We're having a couple of these visual ones. So this is where you have to type in. I'm just going to pause it there, actually, to give everybody a bit more time, because I meant to give more time on this question. To give people more time to type in things. I'll continue that. Which famous actor is this? If you get it close enough, I'll give it to you. %96 of you went for Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. I particularly like the person who typed in Brad Pitt. But fudge, no, can't give you it for fudge. The correct answer was, of course, Brad Pitt. Brad and a hairy pit. Question number 5. In which of these countries could you order a McSpaghetti at McDonald's? Is it the Philippines, Canada, Italy, or Japan? Where could you order a McSpaghetti? Philippines, Canada, Italy, Japan. 18 of you think Italy. It's obvious, really, when you think about it. But no, it's the Philippines. The McSpaghetti was introduced in the early 1970s. It was discontinued everywhere except Orlando, Florida, and the Philippines. Spaghetti is a staple in the Philippines. Zenny up to the 3rd place with that one, getting that one right, as did Grammy Gourmet. SJH takes the lead. And question number 6. What American artist, famous for pop art renditions of Campbell's soup cans, painted Hamburger in 1985? Apparently, it's National Hamburger Week. Who knew? Is it Peter Max, Andy Warhol, Jasper Johns, or Roy Lichtenstein? Who painted Hamburger in 1985? Almost everyone going for Andy Warhol. But again, it was Andy Warhol. Yes, well done. It's an initial battle at the top between SJH and JDT. Did you add my bonus points? I'm doing terribly. No, you have to ask if you want your bonus points because when you ask for them, that determines a lot of things. So I will add 75 points on for you, Boots and Cats and Boots and Cats, or Scat. You're on 207 at the moment. Add 75, that is 282 if my maths is correct. So there you go, you've had yours. She did ask. Oh, right. Shoot. Sorry. Oh, you're quite right. Sorry. Okay, we might have to have a different system for this because I'm shit at this. She did ask before Adam. Sorry. But you've got them now. Teething problems, that's all. Question number 7. What natural phenomenon's severity is measured using the Soloviev-Imamura scale? Is it the volcanic eruption, a tsunami, an avalanche, or a wildfire? Which phenomenon's severity is measured using the Soloviev-Imamura scale? We need a command. You do need a command. That's very sensible. This is why you're a moderator. I shall endeavour to do that for next week. Which phenomenon is it? You think it might be a tsunami, or maybe an avalanche or a wildfire? It's a tsunami. Well done, those people. Remember, if you're guessing, everyone else is probably guessing too, so that's fine. Question number 8. In which 2004 comedy film does the titular character say this creature, the liger, is his favourite animal? Is it A. Barton Fink, B. Happy Gilmore, C. Napoleon Dynamite, or D. Bucky Larson? In which film does the titular character say the liger is his favourite animal? I realise if you haven't seen this film, this will be impossible, but, you know, process of elimination if you haven't. 12 of you have seen the film. It's Napoleon Dynamite. Stevie P into 5th place. Any just nudged into 4th? Remember things sucks down in 22. Question number 9. Which Quentin Tarantino film first featured the fictional Big Kahuna Burger chain of restaurants? Pardon me. Was it Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, From Dusk Till Dawn, or Four Rooms? Which Quentin Tarantino film first featured the fictional Big Kahuna Burger? I'm saying first like that for a reason. It does feature in 2 of these films. 12 of you have gone for Pulp Fiction. That is one of the 2. 7 of you have gone for Reservoir Dogs. That is another one of the 2. 3 of you are wrong. The correct answer is Reservoir Dogs. While the Big Kahuna Burger itself is memorably featured in Pulp Fiction, the franchise actually made its first appearance in Reservoir Dogs. Zany McGinger up to top spot. Right, have I missed anybody asking for points before we do our first gambling question of the evening? This is your time to type it in if you want some points while I go and get a refreshment. I have a refreshment. Question number 10. Here comes your cryptic clue as to what the question might be about. Remember, you don't have to gamble, but if you want to score some extra points, you have to bet something. Good luck. This is a fairy tale situation. What could that mean? Do you know your fairy tales? How much do you want to bet? Question number 10. Which of these classic fairy tales was not written by the brothers Grimm? Hansel and Gretel, The Frog Prince, Cinderella, or The Little Mermaid? Which of these classic fairy tales was not written by the brothers Grimm? Hansel and Gretel, The Frog Prince, Cinderella, or The Little Mermaid? I can't remember. I'm old. Well, you should know even more, because these were all written hundreds of years ago. Right, what do we think? 15 have gone for The Little Mermaid, 3 for Cinderella, 4 for The Frog Prince. Nobody fell for my Hansel and Gretel trap. The answer is The Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid was actually written by Hans Christian Andersen, published in 1837. There you go. What's that done to the scores, I wonder? Well, JDT28 is in the lead ahead of Stevie P, and Gourami Gourmet has used his extra points to great effect to get into third place. Now, did I see somebody say they wanted points? Screw it, give me the points, says Zenny. Lisa, can I get the points after the gamble? You can indeed. Right, so Zenny and Lisa. Zenny, I assume, has 13, but yep, she does have 13 points. Well, she's so 75 plus 13 is... Go on, Graham, you can do this. 88. And Lisa, are you just called Lisa? Mona Lee, 778 plus 75. I've had 2 beers. 778 plus 75. 853. 853. There we go. I assume Zenny has 13 points. Bite me. Sorry, that sounded harsher than I meant it to. Right. Question number 11. Sorry, that tickled me more than it should have done. Question 11. Which of these was the original name for the US holiday Memorial Day, which I believe is soon? This is my topical question. And American question. Is it Remembrance Day, Arms of Defiance Day, Decoration Day, or Brethren Honor Day? What was the original name for Memorial Day? We have 11 going for Remembrance Day, 6 going for Decoration Day, which is the correct answer. It's Monday, Memorial Day. There you go. Happy Memorial Day, if that's what you would say about it. Is that like your only bank holiday, basically? Or what do you call them in America? State holidays? No. Federal holidays? No, I don't know. One of your few you don't have to go into work days. JDT in first place, only a few points ahead of Grammy Gourmet, and Stevie only a few points behind them. Multitasking extraordinaire, the Stevie P family. Federal holiday, that's the word I was looking for. The unofficial start of summer in the USA. Ah, right, okay. Right, question number 12. Solve the dingbat. Hang on, I'm just going to give that a few more seconds because I meant to and forgot. There you go. So, dingbat is basically say what you see. Say what you see. I feel like I should be having some Mr. Chips music here. Pardon me. Oh, we've got a few different answers here. One of which is, I have no idea. All right, let's have a look at some of the answers. We have 8 people going for holy water, 2 water spots, water drop, wet spot, water hole. I mean, I can see how you can get to all of these, except for maybe I have no idea what this means. But the answer is holy water. No. The answer is holy water. Why is that not giving anyone the points? There we go. Grammy Gourmet makes it into first place, 6 points ahead of JDT. Takes too long to write as there's a delay for the keypad. I think I caused the delay by giving you extra time. Yes, kinks. Just kinks. Question 13. What speed-based word is found in the name of this tree-dwelling creature? What speed-based word is found in the name of this tree-dwelling creature? Is that a swift something, a fast something, a slow something, or a relaxed something? A loris. Yes, that is a loris. So is it a swift loris, a fast loris, a slow loris? That's hard to say. Slow loris. Slow loris. It's that one. Which 13 have you got? Well done. Question number 14. What country sold Alaska to the United States for $7.2 million in 1867? Was it France, China, Russia, or England? Known as the Seward's, I don't know how you pronounce that. Seward's Folly or the Seward's Folly. Two for France, 1 for China, 16 for Russia, and 2 for England. It was never England. It was indeed Russia. Purchase of Alaska from Russia was referred to as the Seward's Folly in honor of the Secretary of State William H. Seward or Seward. Don't know how you say that either. Let's move on. top three are starting to move away. But there's still a chance for everyone else. Have we had any more points asking fors? Not that I've seen. Question number 15. By what antagonistic nickname was legendary NASCAR driver Dale Earnhardt known? Was he the Menacer, the Terrifier, the Intimidator, or the Frightener? I feel like I should say them in more menacing voices. The Menacer, the Terrifier, the Intimidator, the Frightener. NASCAR is a ridiculous sport where people just drive in a circle. I mean, how hard can it be? Don't get it. We have a bit of a mix. He was maybe the Menacer, or the Terrifier, or probably the Intimidator, but definitely not the Frightener. Or was he? He was the Intimidator. A combination of the black scheme on his car and his penchant for rough and tumble racing earned him the nickname the Intimidator. Gourami Gourmet got that one. Stephen got a sports ball question. Or was that Jenna? Technically not a sports ball question, but it's a sport. So well done. As we move into question number 16. Nobody wanting to use their members' points yet? No? Okay. Sports wheel, that's the one. Yes, sports wheel question. Question 16. Which of these is not a Looney Tunes character? Speedy Gonzales. That's probably racist, sorry. Speedy Gonzales, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, or Quick Draw McGraw? I will refrain from doing accents for the rest of the quiz. Seven thought it was Speedy Gonzales, convinced by my accent, no doubt. But no, I'm afraid the answer was Quick Draw McGraw. He was a Hanna-Barbera character. Right, okay, Brian, I get it. You're starting to give me a complex now with how much you hate the quiz. Gourami Gourmet is galloping away. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Second, JDT. And third, Stevie P. Stephen, I believe you have points to ask for. Don't know if JDT is a member. John, I think, is a member. I don't know. A membership reminder for those of you who have points who you can claim. Any of those people, if you're playing the quiz tonight, you can have some free points. As we move on to question number 17. In literature, the protagonist is the main character. The deuterologist is the second most important. What is the third most important character called? I'm going to pause it there for a second because that's a lot of reading. I didn't realise quite how much reading was in that one. I'm going to give you all a few extra seconds to answer that one. And we'll carry on. I'm not sure the time adds on when I do it like that anyway. But anyway, is it the tiercogonist, the trinagonist, the tritagonist, or the tetragonist? Is it the tie, tri, or teagonist? Just think about it for a second. Go on, you can do it. Well, 12 of you can. It is indeed the tritagonist, or the third most important. Let me just pause the game because I think I might be able to. Let me see the participant view. You can't see what I'm doing. That's okay. Ah, no. Ah. I'm trying to make sure I give you enough time to answer when we have to type things in. Really banjacks this up. There we go. Just hide that there. And I'll shut that off. Stops making a noise. Nobody in the top 12 got that one. Oh, what have I done? I think I've banjacked something up by doing that. Let's just move swiftly on. Question number 18. It's all fine. Nothing to see here. What character from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise is the species of animal shown here? Is that Sonic, Shadow, Tails, or Knuckles? If Sonic the Hedgehog characters were real, what would that be? What character would that be? Oh, quite the spread on this one. We're not sure, are we? It would be Knuckles. Knuckles, a frenemy of Sonic, is a echidna. I don't know why I've had questions about echidna for the last 2 or 3 weeks now. Indeed, that is an echidna, and that's what Knuckles was. Steven knew. Laney Barb knew. Lee knew. No Chance knew. Rambo Gasmask and Reverend Turtle knew, as did Colin. Or they guessed correctly, either way. Question 19, your penultimate question of the evening. Say what you see. So you've got a good 45 seconds to say what you see. It's another dingbat. I can almost guess which one's Brian's. Well, these are the responses so far. 30 people going for shot in the dark. A big shot, a hot shot, a dark shot, yet another question, and a white shot. The correct answer was shot in the dark. Brian, he's saying he got it right. Oh, I'm going to have to check who wrote. Brian did not get it right. Right, final scores with one question to go. Oh, 21 points in it for first and second place. And then only about, what, 28 something between second and third. Does anyone's question? Anybody want to answer at anybody want to add their member points for the final question? As a reminder, these are your members. Your name is on that list. You can ask me to add 75 points now. I think that would take you into second place, Stephen, if you were to ask for your points. Maybe you're being all gentlemanly. Okay. Final question. Your clue is it's aquatic. What land animal's nickname is often used in the place of this aquatic mammal's actual name? Is that a river rhino, an ocean elephant, sea cow, or a water buffalo? What do we think? It is a manatee, in case you were wondering. Right. You've gone for, almost everyone's got it right, so it's down to how many points and how quickly you answered. Stephen is driving. This is Jenna typing for him. What points should he request? So this is the, I almost said this is the cheat code for the quiz, but members get to ask for extra points. And as Stephen is a member, he gets extra points. So I will now add to Stephen's tally an extra 75 points. That's all you have to do is ask for them. 2958 plus 75 equals. Let's see if that has affected the scores. Your winners tonight in third place, JDT28 with 3,014 points. Stevie P's gone 3033. I love it when it rhymes like that. And Grammy Gourmet is your winner tonight with 3,056 points. Yes, all members get 75 free points, but you have to ask for them when you want them. Yeah, there are some teething problems. We'll work this out in the coming weeks. But I have added your points there, Stephen. You're only a few away. If he'd have gotten his points before the wager, he'd have what he would have done as well. I know. Oh. This will become clear in future weeks as people get used to it. So there you go. Stephen was in third. His member points took him to second, but if he'd added them a little more strategically, i.e. known about them, he would have won. But well done, everybody. And Team P, especially. I'm glad that there's two of you and it's not just Stephen driving and answering questions and thinking about questions and then typing them in. Right, now we have to do some live spreadsheeting, which is everybody's favourite part. So we'll take that over there. That is the scores on the doors as we talk today. Let me just export those rankings. We will delete that column. We'll copy that column. Move that out way. We'll go into week 4. We're in week 4. And paste that there, which means John N is our new leader with 8,640 points, just ahead of Gorami Gourmet, 8,418, just ahead of Stevie P, 7,697, just ahead of Laurie Carey Day, who was our previous winner. That's what happens when you don't show up for a week. That can always happen. Zany McGinger in 5, Scat in 6, Error 404, SJH, Mona Lee, and Texas Tom all the way down, making up your top 10. Well done, everybody. So let me just make sure I save that so I don't have to do this again later on. Well done, all the winners. Quite right. Wanderings with Miss E. Well done, everybody. Indeed. Off to the live spreadsheets. I'm glad everyone loves that as much as I do. We're in the film Oliver. Please, sir, can I have some more? You don't have to say please. You can demand your points in any way you want. It's fine. It's one of the perks of membership. I have 45 minutes to pack. Shouldn't have procrastinated. Yeah, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of socks, 1 t-shirt. Done. Universal packing for everyone, surely. And a toothbrush. If you're fancy. Owen says, good morning from Perth, Australia. Oh, now, this means I have to load up the map. Sorry. We're going to have someone from Perth, Australia. All that way away. Edit list. Add, please. There you go. I've added Perth, Western Australia. Got a few Australians and a few New Zealanders. So, yeah, we're doing quite well. Oh. That Perth? It is indeed. I can tell my west from my east. Look at me go. So, a few Antipodean viewers. Still, no Russians, no Mongolians, no Kazakhstanians. Oh well. But the rest of the map's looking quite healthy. Anyway. Hello, Owen. Nice to see you. Gimme needs to scream something at Graham. Yeah, I will design, or we'll sort that out for next week. Don't worry. Because I do have that set up somewhere. I don't know if I can do it on the fly. That might be a step too far for me. Well, if you enjoyed that, there is another quiz coming. This one's a bit easier, or a bit quicker, if nothing else. And these people who are in gold, Nancy B from Tennessee, Boots and Cats, Mary, Adam, the Great Ocean Disaster Aquariums, Angela, and Daniel all get a free life when we do the Eliminator. So let me load that up and I shall stick it in chat so we can all get prepared. If you want to play the Eliminator, that is 10 questions. Let me get my big face back on. That's 10 questions. You need to answer all 10 correctly to win a prize. It's as simple as that. It's not as simple as that. I'm lying. You need to answer all 10 questions correctly to be in with a chance of a prize. If there are more than one person after the 10th question, I will do an Eliminator. to pick the winner, and that person will get a prize immediately. Ish. We'll kick that off in, let's say, 5 minutes or so. It says Mick in the end is a hero, but he's not in orange. You're quite right. There you go. Fixed. It's just more admin, really. So if you want to play the quiz, that's the link for the quiz. We'll fill this gap with a little bit of shameless shilling and plugging. If you're interested in any of my stuff that I've got going on, we mentioned my website earlier on, you can buy stuff on my website if you want. If you don't live in the UK, you can't get free shipping on a lot of my merch. But if you do live in the UK, you can get free shipping on loads of stuff. Spend £25 on anything, you get free shipping, but spend some money, any money at all on any merch, it's all free. You can get a lovely glass like this. You can get a lovely mug like this. Other designs are available. T-shirts, the whole kit and caboodle. There's an Etsy store for those of you who don't live in the UK. Shipping is charged from Etsy. I can't figure out a way to make that free. Join as a member, you get points off this extremely smoothly well-run quiz. As a hero member, you get points off, extra points on the quiz and an extra life. You get to see how smooth that's going to be in the Eliminator quiz. But you also got 10% off anything at aquariumadventures.co.uk. But more than that, even if you're not a member of any description, for the month of May, you can 10% off anything at aquariumadventures.co.uk using code 10OFFINMAY. Plants, food, t-shirts, mugs, glasses, hats, 3D printed accessories, 10% off everything. Also, the Etsy store also has 10% off. You don't need to use a code for that. It's just got a 10% off coupon. Automatically will be applied at checkout. Links are in the description, probably. If you really want to buy a thing, that'd be nice. Kira. Can you shout out the new people rather than just the members? I'll shout out anyone that wants to be shouted. Kira, hello. Nice to see you. Any other new people out there, say hello. We'll shout you out as well. Yeah, as much as I love members and it's great supporting the channel and all that kind of stuff, it's only a bit of fun, all these extras. It's not... There's no gatekeeping. There's no extra videos for members. There's no extra secret community. You can join the Discord. You can join all the other things and get in as much as you want. You can be extra clever and have the extra points not matter in the quiz. Just have fun, enjoy yourself. So that's all my shilling done. If you want some stuff, buy some stuff. If you don't want some stuff, don't buy some stuff. Just go and watch a video. That'd be nice. Go and watch my latest video. Nobody else is. That'd be really nice. All my links are there. Thank you, Mandy. Go and find them all in there. To be sure, I waited 2 months for a towel. I said, what the hell? And then I remembered I'd won something once. Yeah, I'm not the fastest with postage, but I get there in the end. And to be honest, I won a towel and a Fluval UVC thing in the same week. I know, I have given out some half-decent prizes, so that membership might pay for itself. You never know. I'm new. Say hi to me too. Hello, Gupai 3.142. Right, are we about ready to give the Eliminator a shout? Remember, the rules of the... Oh, God, I've pressed the wrong button. Sorry, I just cancelled everything. Give me a second. The rules of the Eliminator are... There are 10 questions, and 10 questions only. All you have to do to progress to the next question is answer one of those questions correctly. Do that 10 times in a row. Nobody else does. You will win a prize. Just for Lisa, there's the scanny thing, if that's how you prefer to join your quizzes. Start off easy, they get a little bit harder. If you are a hero member, you get a free life. I've also added a direct Etsy link to the fish farm. Oh, thank you. So US folks don't have to search your page. Thank you. That is useful. My Etsy store is another thing I've put a lot of time and effort into for 0 people to be interested in. I'm really good at this. Really good at making things nobody cares about. But the Eliminator can be fun. So, as I mentioned earlier, it's a little bit different this week. If you are a hero member, you will get an extra life. The only way I can make that work is to change the format so as it would normally kick you out if you get a question wrong. That's it, you're out, you don't get to answer anymore. It will let you keep playing. You won't be counted in the survivors, but it will let you keep answering. So if you are a hero and you get kicked out, just keep playing and we'll sort it all out. It'll all come out in the wash. As a reminder, the hero members, are there any heroes here? Boots and Cats, Adam, Great Ocean Disasters. I've seen all these names tonight. Have we seen Angela? I'm not sure. So all these people get a free life. Your name's in orange, you get a free life. But we're going to kick off. With question number 1 and a refreshed video. You're thinking Rachel's probably not here anymore. She's away packing. The movie Jaws featured what ferocious animal? Was it a rabbit, a red panda, a shark, or a squirrel? So, sorry for the toughie to start. What do we think? Was Jaws about a red panda? Everyone seemed to go for shark for some reason. It was indeed shark. So everyone's still in. Question number 2. What is the name of this friendly rodent, sometimes known as a water pig? Is it a hamster, a guinea pig, a capybara, or a lowland paca? Oh, we're losing our first person because it is indeed a capybara, not a lowland paca. Sorry. So whoever eliminees been so far? We've lost Chris, Rambo, and Low, or Ow. If I upgrade my membership now, does it count for this quiz? Sure. Question number 3. What does the word proboscis mean in the name of this monkey? Gloved hands, small mouth, round hairy neck, long nose. What does proboscis refer to in the name of this monkey? Everybody going for long nose. Of course it is. Everybody's still in then. We've got Barbarossa, Stevie P, Grammy Gourmet. Why is that so hard to say? Grammy Gourmet, Brian, Colin, Lemoy, Baby Barb, Gas Musk, John, Apple Creek, Mona Lee, Steny McGinger, No Chance, Error 404, and SJH. Question number 4. Which record-holding river flows north through Africa into the Mediterranean Sea? She has upgraded her membership. God, I feel like such a mercenary when that happens. Oh, dear. But thank you, though. Which record-holding river flows north through Africa into the Med? Oh, losing a few people potentially here. 2 for the Amazon, that famous African river. 8 for the Nile, 5 for the Congo, 2 for the Zambezi. Now, the key to the question was record breaking. That's the Nile, the longest river ever, according to some people. Stevie P, Garami Gourmet, Brian H, Error 404, SGH, Lemoy, John, Mona Lee, Mandy has saved herself by upgrading just in time. So you're still in, technically, as we go into question number 5. But if you get another one wrong, that's it, you're out. Question number 5. The F1 season heads to which city playground of the rich and famous this week? Is it Bridlington, Texas, Ibiza, or Monaco? Mary thinks it's B, as does someone else. Someone thinks it's Ibiza, but it is Monaco. Oh, hell. Oh, you want a refund? Unlucky. But we still got Grammy Gourmet, Brian, Error 404, SJH, Lemoy, John, and Mona Lee. Question number 6. Add up the numbers in these Beatles hits. When I'm blank plus blank days a week. What number do you get? Always to leave me, always to see me when I'm me. 15 days a week. Then do. Ooh. We have quite the range of numbers here. So the songs are When I'm 64 and 8 days a week. 64 plus 8 equals 72. Only one person got that right. Wowzers. I thought that was a reasonably easy one. Grammy Gourmet, the only one that's still in it. So, still got 4 questions to go, Adam. Can we make it all the way through? Question number 7. You may want to upgrade your membership just in case. Question number 7. What robotic spacecraft and Martian rover did NASA land on the Red Planet in 1997? Was it Voyager, Pathfinder, Spirit, or Perseverance? What do we think? 3 of you have gone for Pathfinder, 4 of you have gone for Voyager, but more importantly, as the one remaining person, got the right one, which is Pathfinder. Oh dear. I think Adam must have gone for the other one. But at least with this new format, everyone gets to play on anyway. Question number 8. Would you have got this one? Something described as the opposite of serendipitous would be described as what? Blessed, coincidental, lucky, or troublesome? What's the opposite of serendipitous? Coincidental? No, it is troublesome. Question 9. What was the original name of Miss Pac-Man before the game officially joined the Pac-Man series? Was it Mrs. Yellow, Maze Chase, Crazy Otto, or Chomping Chick? B for Mrs. Yellow, 4 for Chomping Chick. I didn't think anyone would go for Chomping Chick. It was, in fact, Crazy Otto. It was an unofficial mod of Pac-Man called Crazy Otto. But they purchased it and turned it into a proper game. And your final question of the evening. Which of the following is not in the brass family of instruments? A euphonium, a French horn, an English horn, or a flugelhorn? And 3 of you getting that one right. It was the English horn. Unfortunately, there were no winners tonight. But thank you all for playing. Well done, everybody. We have said absolutely nobody is making it to the end this week. I must admit, I usually make the last question hard. I made the last 2 hard just in case 10 people made it to the end. But I thought most of you would have got to question 8 or 9. So I overestimated you all. I'm very sorry. But hey, at least we had fun. It had to be the English horn because they never get the horn. Sorry, that was all the buttons. Apple Creek. It was fun. Thank you for that, Ryan. So now we've reached the stage of the show ahead of schedule. Normally I'm like 10 minutes overrun by this point, so we've got 20 minutes for you to ask me any questions you want to ask me. Otherwise, you're in grave danger of me showing you the scripts that I wrote to cleanse my data for my local fish shop finder. So if you don't want to know that, ask me some questions quickly. Kira, straight in there. What's your favourite type of fish? I don't want to hear about your boring nonsense. My favourite type of fish is discus. Sorry, quite a boring answer, but that's it. Still no Gourami t-shirts outside of the UK. Because I've only put them on my thingy store. I will rectify that. Maybe not right this second, but by tomorrow you'll be able to buy a discus t-shirt on Etsy. Or you might even be able to buy them on the Spreadshirt. Don't know, I quite like the quality of the Etsy ones, so maybe I'll do it on there. Was it Printify? I'll have a look at that while we're doing it. And then he proceeds to say, "So sorry, you're all clearly much dumber than I anticipated." Oh, I can't win sometimes. That's not what I meant, but I agree. That's what it sounds like. I didn't wake up and choose violence today. I was trying to be nice today. I was trying to started today with I'm going to help the hobby. I'm going to do a nice thing. I'm going to be a contributor rather than a withdrawer. And all I've done is upset people. What is going on with this website? Not very happy at all. Yeah, I think we're in. I can't read the yellow answers. Sorry, I don't know what that means. I apologise. I can't read the yellow answers. Ah, on right. Okay, I get you. Ah, so I need to not use yellow. Okay, I can probably do that. Question: can we add text to our t-shirts? You can add text if you go to the spread shop. So, for instance, this is my spread shop shop. Easy for me to say. Where I am slowly getting round to adding all the designs. So you can. These are all the ones that I've added so far. And on here they have a designer. So I've picked a kids t-shirt, but if you click on any of the products and click this little pencil, you can then do whatever you want. You can just customize it. You can add like all the designs onto one shirt if you want. You can add text like so. Yep, place it. And then you can change your text to whatever you want. And then you can buy that t-shirt. Or you can even add in, I want all my balls on that t-shirt as well. I'll have that down here. Or I'll have that on the back. I want the big bass on the back. And then you can buy it like that. So yeah, Spreadshirt I like for customizations. I am going to add to it, I haven't done it yet, but I am going to add like a custom thing where if you like, so let me show you this. This is, I like the fact I've called this my artwork. This is my artwork folder. So these are the images that I've made. Which load up within 5 to 6 working weeks. So you can see there's like a style there. So that is a picture of one of my actual fish. I've run loads of, we've talked about this before, I've run loads of AI filters and stuff, but that is my actual fish processed in a way that I think looks artistic. So I am going to offer you send me pictures of your fish, cats, dogs, budgies, whatever, and I'll make them look this style, and then you can have it back as a t-shirt, a poster, a whatever. So any of these ones that you see here, you can see the kind of style that I've gone for. These are all my fish. These are all individual fish that I've taken pictures of. They've just been stylized in this particular way. So I thought I'll offer that as a service that we can stylize them like that for any picture. But yeah, Spreadshirt, all these links are all over the place. You can design your own t-shirt. Another thing I like about this is you can say, oh, don't like it that small, I want it that big. Or, oh no, I'd actually rather have a little tiny one off to the side there and have it like that. So I really like that customizability Spreadshirt. But it's quite hard to use, and that's why I've not uploaded everything, because I can only upload 3 designs a day because it seems to get overwhelmed by it. But there's also lots of products on there. You can just choose whatever. You can get stickers, mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, whatever. Um, and then you can just pick any. So these are all the designs I've got on there at the moment on Spreadshirt. I will get round to adding more. So if I add the Grammy one to here, you can order it from there. But if I add it to my where do I have to add it? My products. So this is like my Printify shop. I'll just need to add one of these as a thing that you can order from. And these t-shirts are not that the Spreadshirt ones are bad quality. I just quite like that's the one that I've bought this one for myself just to test it out, and yeah, I was quite happy with it. The Spreadshirt ones seem to. It's not going to show you anything. The Spreadshirt ones seem to last, like a couple of dozen washes, and the print starts to fade, which is why I really like these ones, which are the embroidery ones that I got from Phil at Elite Logos, because that never fades. That's there forever. But the printed ones always fade eventually. The Spreadshirt ones lasted a couple of dozen washes. This one looks like it will last a little bit longer, but they'll all fade eventually. So there you go. Mental note made. I will add the Garami print to the various international shops. And if you like them, you can go and buy them. I'm not the Messiah. I'm just a fish. That could be I like that. I could do that. Kira says, also thank you for the great quiz tonight. My whole family enjoyed it. Good, good. I'm glad. Look around the average price for similar services on the same site or Etsy to help you price them so you don't underprice yourself. I'm doing exactly that. There's 50 billion mugs for sale on Etsy, and I'm priced exactly the same as all the other ones. So it's just about whether people want it or not. They clearly just don't want it, so that's fine. And I get it because I think the mugs are like 12 quid. I'd be well hard pushed to pay £12 for I paid £12 for that mug. But you'd have to really like the design to want to pay £12 for a mug. So if you're just in the market for a mug, get yourself off to Dunelm Mill or somewhere else and pay £2 or £3 for a mug. If you're in the market for some merch and wanting to support a creator, then this is the market that I'm aiming myself at. It's a very high quality mug, but it's just a mug. So to pay £12 for that, it better be high quality. That's all I can say. But yes, dishwasher proof, all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, I understand they're not going to be very popular because they're very expensive. That's why this whole thing is, as a money making enterprise, it's limited. Let's put it that way. This is more about getting lots of designs, having them out there, doing the work once, then just having them. So as if anybody ever wins the lottery, comes into some money and says, that Graham guy is all right. Shit at quizzes, but he's all right at everything else. I'll buy a mug this month. It's there. Can US people buy from Spreadshop? Yes. If you go onto the Spreadshop link, which is something like aquariumadventures.myspreadshop.co.uk, it should pop up and go, it looks like you're in America. Do you want to go to the American version of this shop? And it should switch over to the American version. What quiz were they watching, you cheeky? I meant for the custom pet fish portraits. A lot of people of them. Yeah, I'm doing that on. You can have it on a mug. You can have it on a canvas. You can have it on a print. And I think I've matched my price to everyone else that's doing that kind of thing. There's loads of people doing it for a lot more because they're actually drawing it by hand themselves. I'm not doing that. So I think I've priced myself reasonably. It just seems to be. It's just expensive because you're. The majority of the cost, and so if that's 12 quid, like £4.50 of that is to get it to you. The actual price of the mug is the same as just going and buying a plain mug. So you're paying £2 or £3 for the mug. You're paying £2 or £3 for someone to print that on it. You're paying £4 or £5 for someone to send it to you. And then people who make the mug want a little bit of profit. So if that's £12, I think I make £2 of them. Do you want my mug, Brian? You want some tea? You like? Good. Yeah, we'll give him a little bit of something to eat. Brian seems to like the mug. He does, doesn't he? Yes. That Brian does not like a mug. He just looks like one. Oh, wrong button. Sorry. So, there you go. I think I've done quite enough shilling. As much as I'd love people to make me a millionaire by buying all my stuff, that's literally impossible that would happen. It's more about I'm trying to make something that gives me a couple of bucks and gives someone something that they're going to enjoy in some way. I've had builders around the last couple of weeks and they've all been like that. Oh, can I use that mug? And I'm like, no, that's my mug. You can buy one for £12. But it's a talking point. As a fish keeper, that's good. I don't even drink coffee or tea that much, but it's pretty cool. I'd be happy to have that. My pint glass, I'm really happy with. I know nobody cares, but I get to say, that's my actual fish. Do you know what I've done? I've made that picture and I took it and I did it and I edited it. And everyone goes, oh. But it's my favourite glass now. So, yes, it's ridiculously expensive. I think this is like £16 to buy. When you can steal them for free from the pub. But it's got that on it. So, yeah, it's just these little things that are just there. What I really want to push is the things that don't cost you anything at all. So if you want to support me, yeah, great. I'd love it if you bought a t-shirt. I'd love it if you bought these things. But I'd more love it if you just watched my videos a couple of times. That's also great. Joining as a member, fantastic. Love it. It's great. Don't expect anyone to do that. But the people that do, thank you very much. It's very appreciated. But if you want to show support but don't want to spend money, I totally get it. And I completely understand. I do not want to create any gatekeeping, any two tiers of supporters or subscribers. Watching a couple of videos, that's everything you can do. Thank you very much, everybody that does that. And another free thing you can do is, he says, go onto my website, aquariumadventures.co.uk. It works even if you live in Americas or Australia or anywhere else. And yes, you can buy stuff from my shop, but you don't have to. If you just go on the LFS search, at the moment, I'm just looking for things that are broken. So you won't see a lot of this. But, you know, if you type in, for instance, looking for something near somewhere, if you type in Sheffield, just pick a city in the UK or a town or a whatever. So at one point, I was typing in cities, it was showing me Sheffield, and it was bringing up Birmingham. I'm like, that's not Sheffield, you div. And then just email me or fill in the form at the bottom of the page to say that's not right, that's broken. That really helps. If you live in the UK and have visited any of these shops anywhere, so no matter what ones we're talking about, if it's just, let's say you live in Birmingham and you want to look at a place from Birmingham, check it out. Just say, all right, hang on, that's not an aquarium shop, that's the Sea Life Centre. I deliberately did leave in the Sea Life Centre because I thought anybody that's wanting to look at aquariums, they're going to want to check out the Sea Life Centre. But anyway, Pets Villa, oh, that shut down last year. Tell me, and then I can make it better. I just want to make this better for everyone. If T's Reef Aquatics is your favourite shop, go and leave them a review. Say, it is good, that. Yeah, I like it. So that would be nice if you did those things. Have you still got the ghost knife fish? Yes. fact, you can see him. He's about to come out. Quick, quick, quick. Can you see him? He's at the back. He just never stops eating. I've never known a fish like it. Oh, buffering, buffering. Is it me? No, apparently I have an excellent collection. So, oh no, if a few of you've internets has gone. Oh no, maybe it was me for a second. Who knows? Blooming kids stealing the internet, it could have been, yeah. Mary's saying, my great grandson is 3 years old today. We watch the Brian shorts repeatedly. His favourite Brian is eating blueberries. Ah. Well, I shall load up a few more Brian's for him. We're going to retry them with strawberries and with grapes and a couple of other things that he previously was not into. But I think they were the things we tried him with first, when I think he was a bit like, what is this? Is this food? This weird stuff that you're giving us? Whereas now, I just have to do that. And he's like, food? Yeah, I'll have some. Food? Yeah, I'll have some. I was thinking about starting another channel about Brian, because this is... Right, it's 11 o'clock here in the UK, so it's time to lower the tone a little bit. He does the most ginormous poos. Now, he's a big fish, but he reminds me of, like, do you know when kids get to like the end of nappy training, toilet training, but you're like, oh, right, son, you really need to start using the toilet. I can't be dealing with this anymore. He's dropping proper logs. That I have, I have a siphon thing that I clean the tank with. Having to get a bigger. Let me show you. This is my water change pipe. So I attach this to the hose that goes out to the waste, and I use this to clean most of the tanks, or a version of this to clean most of the tanks. So it's like that big. I can fit my finger up there. That's how big it is. This is now too small to suck up the poops that Brian does. You, sir, are an animal. Disgusting. Have you seen that meme where the two Scottish kids are like doing a dance in their bedroom, and they're like making a TikTok dance, and their mum comes in and goes, "Who's done a big fat shite in my toilet?" That's very much how I feel about Brian right now. I'm like, I cannot keep up with. There's no wave maker made that will point that towards the filter intake. There's no filter made that can take that. It's like picking up after a dog. You know when you go out with your dogs for a walk and you have your poo bag? Yeah, that's what Brian's like. And he also, you know when he does this? So that shaky move, where he's like, oh, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you, I'm going to have this. That's his poo move as well. That's his rocket poop. Done. Anyway, sorry, that was very indelicate discussion. Maybe we should move on to something a little bit less uncouth. Yes, cut them smaller. I think I know he has had whole strawberries now. Where I think it was just that it was new, and now he knows that things that I'm putting in there are food. He'll quite happily eat them. He's had a whole strawberry. He's had a whole grape. He's kind of fine with it now, so I'll just keep doing that with more and more foods. People have been asking me to do things like meat, cheese, sausage, chorizo, or chorizo, or yeah, a few different things. I'm a bit like, oh, right, we're going to get into a situation where we're feeding things that are so weird. People will be like, is that cruel now? That's going a bit overboard. Because there's a little bit of me that thinks I could chuck this can in there and he'd have a good crack at eating it. You're a mentalist. But yes, I am thinking about putting him back in the other tank because he's so big now. I know it doesn't come across necessarily perfectly, but he is enormous. There's one of the poops. You see it? Like that big. Even though this is a big tank, he doesn't have any room to stretch his fins, which I'm a little bit worried about. He seems fine. He's very happy. He likes to be interactive. He's doing his thing. He's getting his enrichment from talking to me or me talking to him. So there's either he's going back in Mega Tank 1 and hoping that the other big fish keep him in check, or Mega Tank 3 is on the cards. I don't know if that might be a thing. Like a small dog, yeah, like a medium-sized dog. That's what I'm worried about. I use a fish net and then flush the poops. that's kind of where I'm getting to now. Uh, I haven't watched them all. Have you tried them on all the different kinds of fish? I haven't really tried them on that much fish. That could be something to try him on. He will eat it. I've had him try mussels, prawns, things like that, but not really done the fish fillets. I've mostly been going through the vegetables with him. I've done a few things that I've just not got around to filming yet. So he's had peppers, he's had broccoli, cauliflower. Broccoli is like his favourite. He loves that. Egg he likes, but it makes the tank really messy. He's a very personable fish. He's a big character. Which worries me because as soon as I get a fish that I'm a bit like, oh, you're a really cool fish, it goes and dies on me. So don't die. Great personality. That's it, indeed. He's spoiled. Keep him there by your side. Yeah, well, what I am thinking of is so this tank ends there. There's like another maybe 2 feet, feet and a half that I can get up to Mega Tank 2. There's probably another 2 feet this side that I could use, so I could get that whole space and make another 8-9 foot tank. There's also like an 8-9 foot space here where my desk is, and I could move a desk somewhere else. I don't know. I'm talking nonsense now because I haven't really thought through all these things. But there's things that we could do. Make this desk a little bit more compact and use the wall to store servers and all that kind of stuff, and have that tank go a bit longer that way. I just want to give him a little bit more swimming space. That's all. Right, it's 11:05. Have we had any more questions, or are we ready for bed? What do we think? He thinks you're going to feed him with all that hand move. I have fed him. You've had several pellets. Each of these pellets is like 9 goldfish. I don't know why they measure food in goldfish. There you go. Or go taller. I don't think I want to go taller because taller makes everything harder. Because the taller your tank is, the more pressure there is in the water, and that's what makes everything need to be a lot more bulky and stuff like that. And I don't think he would appreciate taller. I mean, he wouldn't hate it, but I don't think that's what he's really needing. I think he's wanting length to get a bit of exercise. Get some exercise. An L-shaped tank. I did think about an L-shaped tank. But my worry with an L-shaped tank is that's the kind of thing and the reason I thought of it was that'd make a good video. And everything that I say, that'll make a good video, does not make a good video. So I don't really want an L-shaped tank, other than it would be proper cool. Because I need a little bit of desk space in here. So the whole reason this whole thing works for me is because this is my office. This is where I do my proper job. And because I'm in and amongst all the tanks, it's not a hassle to do maintenance. So I can work for an hour. I can take 10 minutes to go and siphon a tank and do a water change. I can work for another a couple of hours. I can go and scrape some glass. I can work for a couple of hours. I can set up a CO2 system. It kind of works. I work for a bit, get stressed for a bit, and go and sit in my chair, just watch the tanks and enjoy them. I've had a fish room for a long, long time, for a number of years. I've had in my garage. It's always been the garage. It's been my fish room, but it's always been somewhere else, and you would have to go there to spend time in there. So I would eventually always limit myself, and that would be right. I'm going down to the fish room to spend an hour in the fish room, and I'd go down and I'd potter and do stuff. It's just very different being here. So I'm here to work, to do all my other jobs, whatever it is, and I'm in and amongst all this. So I see all these things going. I have ants in my pants. I can't sit here for hours at a time just working away like a slave. I'll do a bit, I'll get up and I'll wander about. A lot of my job is doing conference calls, so talking to people. And I do that with, I'll have, I'll have my headset on like this and I'll just get up and I'll wander about. So I'll do water changes as I'm having meetings with people. And I get to enjoy it so much more. So I think if I get to the point where I build out my tanks to the point where I have no place to sit and to do my work, then I'm not going to spend as much time in here, and then it'll all become a bit of a chore to do all the things in here. So I need to retain a space. And right now, the only space I've got is I need a desk this size somewhere. And if I wanted to make that an L-shaped tank, I couldn't have that. If I wanted to make that an L-shaped tank to replace Mega Tank 1, as in make it 8 foot that way, 8 foot this way, and have all those fish in it, and have that space where Mega Tank 1 is now as my office. But that's a bigger question and a bigger ask. We are ready for music. Oh, I don't know about music tonight. How tall is Brian's tank? Right now, it's like 2.5 feet. So, if he keeps growing at the rate that he's growing and gets to what I understand the maximum size a giant gourami can get to, he'll still have some room, but it'll get to the point where it'll look wrong and you'll be like, he needs a bigger tank. So this can't be his forever home. Something's going to happen eventually. But equally, I got him not as a juvenile, but I don't know how stunted he was when we got him. I don't know how much he's got to go, basically. He will need a little more depth when fully grown to be able to eat from the surface without hitting the bottom. Possibly. I mean, he'll have to go some to be able to get to the point where he can't eat from the surface without hitting the bottom. And he doesn't do that much eating from the surface, to be honest. I've fed him a lot of floating foods and he kind of looks at them like, what am I meant to do with this? So, I don't know. Right. We are at 10 past 11 here in the U of K. 23 people left. Everyone's already calling it tonight, I think. I think we'll... Suno working? No, it's not working. Unless we have lots of pleads for music, I think we'll call it a night and get an early night for once. Adam Sevens joining us. Glad to see you have your channel back, Graham. Unsure if you have the rest back in terms of your private documents. I've got almost everything back. It's all good. The only thing I've lost is my daughter's stuff. But nothing too serious there. Apple Gal's back. I got off work, ate supper, fed my fish, planted my vegetable garden. It's 7:40 PM here. Well, it's 10 past 11, quarter past 11 getting on for here. Going to save it up. We haven't done dickhead comment of the week because there haven't been any dickhead comments of the week. I've scared off all the bad commenters. So, you know, if you know any dickheads, get them to comment on some of my videos and then we'll have a bit more content. Next week we will return with some more music, but tonight I think we're about ready to call it quits. Thank you very much everyone for joining us. As I say, if you wouldn't mind, go and check out my local fish store finder. Make sure your favourite local fish store is on it. Even if you don't live in the UK, just go and give it a click, give it a use, see if everything works properly. Check out my latest videos for all the links and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, if your local fish store's on it, go and give it a review. Help some people out. They are important places. We need to make sure we keep them going. The good ones, anyway. We're always about the good ones. Anyway, with that said, thank you all for joining me. Go and watch the video. See you in the next one, which will be this time next week. I'm off all next week, so I'm going to be making a lot of videos. Maybe I'll go and visit some fish stores. So, you know, if you know anybody that works at a fish store and wants me to come and have a look at it, get in touch. I'm waffling now because I can't find the end button for the stream. There we go. Watch some stuff, buy some stuff, love some stuff. Thank you very much all for joining me. See you in the next one.